Hello, everybody. Good morning. How are you? Are you fine? Hello. I am Miss J, and today we are going to talk about fairy tales. Do you like fairy tales? I love fairy tales. I love all the fairy tales. All. I'm drinking water because today my throat is not very well. So I really love fairy tales. What about you? Do you like fairy tales? What's your favorite fairy tale? Can you tell me? Can you say hello? Can you say good morning? Yes? Who is there? I know that there is someone, but I don't know who is there. Well, I'm going to continue. So, as I was telling you, I love fairy tales, I like Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, Malévola, right? And I really love fairy tales. There are two people. Hello, people, talk to me. Say hello, please. Hello. Hello, say hello. Tell me your names. Who is there? I'd like to know your names. I'd like you to tell me good morning. And I'd like to know if you like fairy tales. Because today I have a fairy tale to tell you. Let's go? Yes? Okay. Well, my favorite, I don't know. It's so difficult. I like all the fairy tales. It's difficult. I don't know which one is my favorite. I really like The Sleeping Beauty. And today I'm going to tell you about The Sleeping Beauty. You know, I love Beauty and the Beast too. Beauty and the Beast is great. I love Snow White. I love Snow White because Snow White, the Snow White, the girl, she loves animals, and all the animals come closer to her when she's doing the house activities, the house chores. So I really love because it's like me. I feel like Snow White. Snow White is the princess that I most identify myself to because of the animals, you know, because I always have animals around me too in my house, in everything I do, you know, and I really love Snow White. Well, but today I'm going to tell you the story of the Sleeping Beauty. Okay? And I'm going to interpret the characters, right? So let's go. Once upon a time, a long time ago, there was a kingdom. A kingdom, very, very beautiful kingdom with a very big castle. A very beautiful castle, you know, a big and beautiful castle. And around the castle, there were mountains, beautiful mountains, and the castle was surrounded by a very, very beautiful forest. The forest was enchanted. There were different um, creatures in this forest, you know, and this forest was wonderful. There were three um, there were three fairies, okay, three fairies, right, that lived in this forest. They were sisters, the three fairies, okay? They were sisters and they lived in the forest. They guaranteed the harmony in the place, in the forest, and in the kingdom. In this castle, do you remember? I told you there is a castle. In the castle, in this kingdom, there was a king. There was a king, okay? A very, let me see. The king of the kingdom. Mhm. He was a very good king. He was a good king. He was generous. And he got married. He got married. He got married to a very, very beautiful princess. Okay? He got married to a very beautiful princess. And one day, this princess had a baby. Let me show you the baby. Just a minute. This princess had a baby. This is my baby. Okay? The princess now is a queen. Okay? Because the princess got married to the king. And they had a beautiful and wonderful girl, a little girl. Okay? And this girl was wonderful. She was so cute and pretty. The king, the king and the queen, they were so happy that they had a baby, a little girl, that they had a big party. They organized a big feast to baptize the baby. Okay? Yes. And they, hello, my dear. Hello, Beatriz. Good morning. I'm telling the story of the Sleeping Beauty. Okay? So, the king and the queen, oh my God, and the queen, they were very happy because they had a baby. And they organized a big party, okay? A big feast to celebrate the life of the baby. And they invited everybody in the kingdom, in the forest. They invited all the people. Yes. On the day of the feast, the do you remember the three sisters, the three fairies? Okay. On the day of the feast, the day of the party, the baptism of the baby, two sisters, the two fairies, they went to the party to bless the baby. Okay? They went to the party to bless the baby. The first fairy arrived. She came very happy, you know. And the fairy said, "Oh, hello, my king. Oh, your majesty. Oh, your majesty, my queen, my king. Thank you very much for inviting me for the party. I'm so happy that I'm here. I came here to bless your child. She is so beautiful." And then the fairy came close to the kid, to the little girl, and said, "Oh, little girl, I bless you with the beauty. Bling! You are going to be the most beautiful lady in the kingdom." And the fairy gave her the beauty. Okay? She blessed her with the most beautiful appearance of the kingdom. The baby was so happy, so happy. And the queen and the king, they were very thankful to the fairy because the fairy blessed the little girl. Then came the second sister, the second fairy. Okay? She came. Just a minute. Just a minute. The second fairy came. Oh, hello, my king. Hello, my queen. Your Majesty. Thank you very much for inviting me to the party to celebrate the life of your baby. I'm so happy. The forest is happy. The kingdom is happy. Oh, thank you very much. And the king and the queen were very happy with the presence of the fairy. Okay? Then the fairy came close to the child and said, "Oh my God, this little girl is wonderful. She is so beautiful. I bless her with all the love." Bling! And she blessed the little princess with love. The queen and the king were very, very happy and fulfilled with that bless. You know, they were very, very happy. All the kingdom was happy. All the people were happy. Everybody was celebrating. The child was very, very happy, beautiful, and healthy, you know. But there was a problem. The king and the queen had forgotten one person. Oh my God. How could they do that? They forgot to invite the third fairy. Actually, let me tell you a secret. They didn't forget. The fairy, the third fairy, she thought that the king had forgotten, but actually, he didn't. He didn't forget. He didn't. He just he sent her an invitation, but the invitation went under the carpet because of the wind. The wind, you know, and the invitation went under the carpet. So the fairy never received the invitation, and she thought the king had forgotten to invite her. But actually, no. But what can we do? She didn't know. The king also didn't know that the invitation had been under the carpet. And the third fairy got very mad. She was mad. She was crazy. She was really angry because she hadn't been invited invited for the party, you know. And then she said, how they dare? How can they do that to me? How can they give a party, have a celebration, invite all the people in the kingdom, invite my two sisters, and don't invite me? How can they do that? So, as they didn't invite me, I will go to the party, but I will put a curse on the baby. And she went to the party. Everybody was afraid. Everybody said, my God, what is happening? What is happening? Who is that person? Who is that? My God, they had never seen that woman because the fairy was beautiful and kind. But as she was very angry because she hadn't been invited to the party, she got ugly. She transformed herself. She was looking like a witch. And she was really angry. She was mad because she hadn't been invited to the party. And that's why she was that way. Everybody was confused because nobody was recognizing the fairy. But when she got a little closer to the king and the queen, they realized it was her. And they didn't understand what was happening. So she said, ho, ho, ho. Hello, your majesty. Ho, ho, ho. Do you think you can give a party, a celebration, and forget to invite me? The king and the queen were horrified. They couldn't speak. They didn't understand what was happening. But the fairy was so angry that she didn't give them a chance to speak. She came close to the child and she put a spell on her. She said, oh, you are the child. I'm going to put a spell on you. Since you haven't invited me for the party, I'm going to put a curse on your child. You will grow. You will grow beautifully. But when you complete 15 springs, you will put your finger on a needle and you will sleep forever. And everybody in the kingdom will sleep together. And the witch flew from the window. She flew from the window, and everybody in the party was horrified. Oh my God. The queen was feeling really bad. Oh, oh my God, oh my God. The queen cried a lot. The king was furious. The king was really furious. He said, who does she think she is? She thinks she can come here in my castle and put a curse on my child. I will kill her. And then the king told his soldiers to hunt the witch for the whole kingdom until they find her and kill her. Everybody was afraid. And then the king said, I'm going to uh, I'm going to banish all the sewing machines in the kingdom. The king gave an order to destroy all the sewing machines in the kingdom. Everybody was prohibited to sew anything. Anything. And then all the sewing machines were gathered and burned. They burned all the sewing machines in the kingdom to guarantee that the little princess Yara didn't sting her finger in the needle. The years passed. The years passed by. Okay? The years passed by. And the princess grew. The princess grew up the way that the two fairies said. Beautiful and full of love. Beautiful and full of love. The little princess. She was very happy and beautiful, the little princess, and enchanted. She was charming and kind. Everybody in the kingdom loved the little princess. And then one day she turned 15 years old. On the day she turned 15 years old, she was walking in the forest very happily, singing and dancing and smelling flowers, singing with the birds. She was so happy. And then, poof, in the middle of the forest, something very, very strange happened. In the middle of the forest, a very strange machine appeared. The little girl, the princess, that now was 15 years old, she had never seen a machine like that. Never. She didn't know what it was. And she was really curious about it. And she said, you don't hook up. I don't know what you are talking about. So, She had never seen a sewing machine. She was so curious. And I'm going to block you. Guys, be careful because of what you talk about. Okay? Be careful of what you talk about. Right? Okay. She was 16, not 15. In my story, she was 15. Yes, but you are saying something that is not appropriate. Be careful. You wrote something that is not appropriate. Okay? And it's going to be in the video. All right. So let me continue the story. The little princess was very curious and she came close to the sewing machine and she saw a needle. You see? And when she touched it, oh, she stung the finger in the needle. And then she felt very sick. Oh. Okay, be careful of what you write, right? Okay. Oh my God. Oh, I don't know. I'm feeling bad. I'm feeling dizzy. I don't know what is happening to me. And poof. The little princess fainted. The little princess fainted to the ground. And then everybody, all the kingdom, slept with her. They slept for 100 years. 100 years. Imagine that. 100. The princess and all the kingdom slept for 100 years. But the witch, do you remember the witch? When the princess slept, the witch came. She was very happy that her curse had got the princess. And she said, "Nobody can break my curse. Nobody can break my spell. Only the true love kiss. Only a true love kiss can waken up this little princess." And the witch went away. But everybody was sleeping. How can a kiss wake her up? Who would kiss the princess? Who can kiss the princess? Everybody was sleeping. The whole kingdom was sleeping. How could they wake her up? Okay. So 100 years passed by, And then one day, a prince, a man, okay, another prince, a very handsome prince, just a minute, please. A very handsome prince came with his horse. He was looking for other places, other kingdoms, you know. And then he stopped with his horse. No, nobody is knocking at my door. There is no noisy here, okay? Concentrate in the storm. Okay, so the prince came. And then he saw the kingdom. The kingdom was black, totally black. All the flowers were dead. All the nature was dead, you know, and everything was dark. The prince looked and said, "Oh my God, oh my God, what has happened to this kingdom? Why is it so sad and dark?" The prince had no idea what was happening. So the prince started walking around to see if he met another person, someone that could explain what is happening to him. He walked, and nothing. He saw nobody, nobody. And then he saw the castle. He he saw that the guards, you know the guards of the castle were sleeping. They were sleeping. Everybody was sleeping. People were sleeping in the streets. People were sleeping everywhere. And he said, "My God, what happened here?" He was feeling really bad, strange. He knew that some mystery was happening in that place, but he didn't know what. And then he entered the castle. He entered the castle and he saw the king, the king and the queen. But the king and the queen were sleeping. They were sleeping on their thrones. They were sleeping. They were sitting down on their thrones, sleeping. Then he tried to wake the people up. He tried, "Come on, wake up, wake up." But, hello, I'm telling a story. Okay, so he tried to wake the people up, but nobody nobody woke. He couldn't wake people up. And he was very puzzled. He couldn't understand what was happening. And then he continued walking. He walked around, and he said, I have to go because I don't know what to do. Everybody here is sleeping and nobody wakes up. What can I do? And he took his horse and he went to the forest. And when he got in the forest, he saw on the floor a very, very, very beautiful princess sleeping. She was sleeping profoundly, deeply, She was deeply asleep, soundly asleep, totally asleep. He tried to wake her up, but she seemed not to be breathing. He said, "Oh my God, what is happening? Is she dead?" But she didn't seem to be dead. She didn't seem to be dead. And then he was there looking at the princess. You know, he was there looking at the princess. Oh, she's so beautiful. The princess. Oh my God. The princess is so beautiful. So beautiful that he fell in love with the princess. He fell in love with the princess. He said, "Oh, I never saw such a beautiful woman. She is so beautiful. I'm deeply in love with her. I love her. But what can I do? She's sleeping. I don't know what to do." And the prince was really puzzled. He thought, but he was afraid. He was afraid that the princess was dead. And then the witch, the witch saw the prince. When the witch saw the prince, she didn't like. She said, "Oh my God, I don't believe it. A prince. Where did he come from? Who is he? How did he appear here?" The witch was terribly nervous because she didn't want the prince to break her spell. And she tried to put a spell on the prince. She tried. She looked at the prince and she tried to put a spell on him. But she was very angry because the prince nothing worked on the prince. Nothing. The prince was protected. You know why? The prince Thank you, Danny. The prince was protected by love. Because when he saw the princess fainted on the floor, he fell in love with her. And it was true love. True love. So the true love protected the prince, you know, and the spell of the witch didn't catch him. So the prince looked at the princess, and he felt like kissing her. He felt like kissing her. He said, "Oh, I love you so much. I'd like to save you, my little princess. If you were alive, would you marry me? You would be my queen because I love you so much." And then, when he finished this sentence, he kissed the princess. By surprise, for his surprise, the princess started moving. Oh, oh, oh. And the princess woke up. When the princess woke up, she said, "Oh my God, where am I? What is happening?" And then she saw the prince. And when she saw the prince, she fell in love with him immediately. She fell in love with the prince immediately. It was true love. The prince looked at the princess, and the princess looked at the prince, and they fell in love together. The prince said, "Oh, my little princess, who are you? You are so beautiful, and you were sleeping soundly. I don't know what happened." The princess said, "Oh, you are a prince. Oh my God, I had never seen a prince in all my life before. I really don't know what happened. I was walking in the forest very happily on the day of my birthday. And then I stung my finger on a strange thing." And then the prince saw the sewing machine beside the princess. And then he understood. He said, "Oh my God. You know, when I was a child, I heard a story of a witch that put a spell on a princess. But I thought it was just a story. I didn't know it was real. So it was. It was you. I don't believe it." Then the witch that was on the other side, looking everything, watching the scene, she started feeling bad. Oh, oh, oh. And then she disappeared. Poof. She disappeared in the air. You know why? Because when she put a spell on the baby had been blessed by the other fairy with true love. And the true love destroys the hate. The true love destroys the evil. So when the prince and the princess fell in love with each other, a true love, the witch was destroyed automatically because of the power of love. Yes. Okay? And then suddenly the whole kingdom started to uh, live again. All the flowers came back to life, all the trees, the animals, the sun. The sun appeared, you know, and all the kingdom was beautiful again. Then the princess was really happy and she couldn't wait to go back to her castle and see her parents, to see what had happened. Do you remember that I told you that the princess had slept for 100 years? She didn't get old. Nobody got old because it was a spell, you know. Everybody was equal. Everybody was the same. And then when the princess and the prince entered the castle, they saw the queen and the king. The king and the queen. Oh, 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 what happened? They were waking. Everybody was waking. And all the walls and everything became colorful again. The life came back, you know. Everything came back to life. And then the queen saw her child. Oh, my daughter! Oh, my God, my daughter, my daughter! They couldn't explain, but they knew that the spell had happened. And then the king said, Oh, my little daughter, oh, my little daughter, what happened to you? And then the princess said, Oh, Dad, don't worry. Everything is fine now, okay? You don't need to worry because now everything is over. We saw with our own eyes the witch was destroyed. And I'd like to present to you my prince. He woke me up. He saved my life. He saved our lives. And then the queen said, the king, the king said, Oh, really? I don't believe it. You are the prince who saved my daughter, my little child. Oh, God bless you. I bless you forever. What can I do for you, my dear? And then the prince said, Oh, your majesty, my respect. The only thing I want is to marry your daughter. I'd like to marry your daughter, please, because I love her from the bottom of my heart. My love is real, my love is true. And then the king said, My little child, what do you think? How do you feel? Do you want to get married to this prince? And the princess said, Yes, Daddy, I love him so much. The love that we feel for each other is true love, and I'd be very happy if you allow us to get married. And the king said, So be it. If you are happy, if you love each other, if he is a prince and he saved your life, let's organize the wedding. The queen was so happy, everybody was happy, the kingdom was happy again. Everything came back to life, and they started celebrating. Very happy, everybody singing and dancing because the prince had saved the princess and all the kingdom. Guys, I hope you have enjoyed the story. Miss J changed a little on purpose, okay? And I hope to see you in the next video. Now I have to go because I have another class. Kisses. Bye-bye. Thank you.